A few weeks back, I finally watched Sir Ridley Scott's 2015 epic, The Martian. Stupidly, I had avoided the film due to a lack of time and quite simply a lack of effort.
Surprise!
However, upon my first experience with the movie, I knew this was a very, very special film. Not because of its visual effects or acting, which are both absolutely brilliant, but because of how Scott discusses the grander concept of unity. Now, before we delve into grander ideas or what everything means, we should establish the plot of The Martian. Basically, the gist is this. Matt Damon portrays Mark Watney, an astronaut and botanist who is left on Mars after he is presumed dead by his crew. Scott's film details the character's journey back to Earth and the people who help him accomplish this. Now, in my eyes at least, I think The Martian was a little premature. I think when the movie dropped back in 2015, we did not really need a movie that brought so many races, nationalities, and genders together. I think it's also important to establish that a few years before Scott decided to helm this movie, the famed director's brother, acclaimed filmmaker Tony Scott, had sadly committed suicide. Now, it's important to note that Scott felt incredibly alone throughout this and was completely heartbroken, as anyone would be. When the director was asked what he thought The Martian was really about, Scott said this: "I think the film is about how no one is ever alone. When you see any tragedy around the world and all the efforts to do something, you realise that. That's what I think the movie is about." While Scott does not directly reference the experience following the tragic passing of his brother, it's really obvious that he aligned himself with Watney. Throughout the film, the character experiences the harsh reality of being alone. The character's perseverance is one of the film's greatest strengths. When Watney remarks,
"I'm not gonna die here,"
we genuinely believe him. Now, Watney is not the most important part of The Martian. While yes, he is the lead character, he is not at all the only character in the film. Scott's film relies heavily on teamwork and unity. Watney could not find his way home all by himself, despite all his effort to do so. The character needs the help of his comrades at NASA, as well as their companions over at CNSA. Included in this is a multicultural and super diverse supporting cast, including Commander Melissa Lewis, Vincent Kapoor, Annie Montrose, Major Rick Martinez, Rich Purnell, Bruce Nigg, and Dr. Alex Vogel. You would instantly notice, just from reading some of those names out, that these characters are not exclusively anything. Purnell is as important as anyone, despite being a younger and more inexperienced scientist. In fact, some would argue that he's the most important scientist in the film. The people who help Watney are not all men, nor are they all white. They're not even all American. Scott's movie is one that is not all about America. The mission to bring Watney home is one that unites all countries and all people. This was even furthered in the film's magnificent ad campaign, which included the phrase "bring him home." This tagline was not exclusive, it was extremely inclusive, allowing any individual, no matter their gender, no matter their sexuality, no matter their colour, to believe that they had an essential part in bringing Watney home. One of my favourite scenes in the film, and one that perfectly showcases everything I've been blabbering on about, is the sequence before the Hermes rescues Watney. Scott does something wonderfully unique as he orchestrates a beautiful montage that showcases how the world is reacting. He does not exclusively show the thousands of people in Times Square watching the shuttle take off. He cuts to Beijing, and then to London. Tying in with what the filmmaker stated earlier, tragedy unites people.
Houston, this is Hermes Actual. We got him. Watney is secure.
Contact in outer space with Martin Watney. After a very long time, they have done what many people thought was
When The Martian concluded, it left me amazed. This was and still is a really beautiful film. One ever so touching and heartfelt that it focuses more on being one than being individuals. With the recent tragedies of the Hurricane Irma and the horrific 8.1 magnitude earthquake in Mexico, it is really important to come together rather than drift apart. While films like The Martian will not save the world, they do, however, do a fantastic job at bringing us, its people, together.
All right. Questions?
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. And I grew strong, and I learned how to get along.
Hey guys, so this is just a little thing that I just wanted to say at the end of this video. With the recent tragedies of Hurricane Irma and the horrendous earthquake in Mexico, I feel like it's really essential that we as a community can help out and do what we can. GlobalGiving has 2 really amazing pages that are really looking for funds in order to sort of help rebuild houses, help accommodate people who have had their lives ruined by horrendous earthquakes and hurricanes. This video is not at all sponsored by GlobalGiving. This is just my sort of perspective, and I thought it would be a really great idea if you guys could contribute. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time.